What's really, really, really good, guys? You're locked into Spill TV where you get all that spill from the street. Yo, today we're looking at the Diddy trial, man. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, what can we say? But Cassie has took that stand, and yeah, man, some controversial things is coming out, man. It's not really looking how it was looking, if that makes sense. Like, it was looking like it was really, really, really bad for Diddy, man. Like, it is. Don't get it twisted. Shit really bad for him. But I'm saying, it's like all this trafficking and all this stuff. It's like, where is it? We ain't heard none about this man trafficking anybody yet. And it's like, the things what we have heard, as I think, if you don't know already, Cassie's took the stand. And some of the things that she said is like very, very controversial of someone saying a victim. Now, let's get one thing straight. Diddy did put his hands on this woman, bro. And as a man, we don't tolerate that. Out the window with that stuff, bro. There's no reason for a man to put their hands on a woman. As far as I'm concerned, really, you get me? You just don't do them type of things, bro. Like, I'm not saying that people don't go through their things in relationships and whatnot, but me as a person, I refrain from that type of stuff, bro. I don't rate any man that puts hands on women. Do you get me? So that's just where I stand from it. But yeah, Cassie took the stand, and it's like, you know, there was text messages being revealed in court and so on and so forth. And I was watching Poetic Flacco. If you're aware of him, he's a content creator from LA in America, and he works alongside the No Jumper team and all them type of things. And I tune into them a lot to get a lot of things what I'm talking about in America. So I do tune into them a lot, and I respect their platform. So big shout out to No Jumper, and big shout out to Poetic Flacco. So yeah, let's get into a bit of what Poetic Flacco was saying on the case, and just get into it a little bit more. I've got some things I want to say and put to you and see what you guys got to say about it. Yeah, man, let's go.
The Diddy trial just wrapped up for today, and am I allowed, is this like a safe place? Can I say what we are all thinking? What we are all afraid to say after watching, or I guess reading, the transcripts for this Diddy trial today? While watching this, we all thought, Diddy, you are a bad boy. Alright, bro, let me chill with the punchlines. But while watching this, I think we all thought, Diddy, you are a vile human being. You're terrible. You are a horrible boyfriend. You are criminally horrifying.
Now, for starters, I do think Diddy is a horrible, horrible, horrible person, bro. Like, let's get that first and foremost. But it's like, yeah. Is it really the way these guys are saying it all is? And, you know, did he really do the thing to the extent that these guys are saying? And from what I'm seeing in the trial so far, they've not really made a strong case against any type of trafficking that involves Diddy. So
one of Satan's greatest creations. You are a disgusting, vile man. But I don't feel like we watched that trial after hearing from Cassie, after hearing from the male gigolos. I don't feel like we, well, at least not most of us, walked away today feeling like Diddy is a trafficker. And that's the issue. That's the problem. Because this is what Diddy has.
Guys, you really got to take in what Flacco's saying here. Because the charge against Diddy is a RICO charge for trafficking male adult workers. Or female adult workers, whatever the case may be. But that's the charge. Trafficking. RICO charge. And so far, from what I'm seeing and what I'm seeing, the feedback that I'm getting from everyone is that no one's really walked away from the feedback. And this is after Cassie's took the stand. No one's walked away from that feeling like the state have proved a case of trafficking, or they've even built a good case on trafficking. So let's see. Also, we're going to get into some text messages and stuff that was sent between Cassie and Diddy and all of that type of stuff, and we're going to run through it, man. So we're just going to try and delve into it. We're just going to touch on it lightly, and then I'm going to put it out there and see what you guys think in the comments, and get back to me and whatnot, and let me know what you're saying. But let's delve into this for right now.
Been indicted for trafficking these women. Prosecutors laid this out plain and simple. They're saying Diddy's conduct was criminal. They're saying Diddy coerced women who he was dating, by the way, and transported them across state lines and even out the country to engage in these rendezvous. Here's where it gets tricky. They're not accusing Diddy of doing this with 1,000 random women, flying them out, strictly transactional, which I thought that was the case. They're saying this entire case, this entire trial is based around two women, Cassie and a Jane Doe, both in which Diddy was dating extensively. Like, they were actual girlfriends of his. Diddy attorneys in their opening statement addressed the public perception of Diddy. They said, listen, if this was a domestic violence case, if this was a case of Diddy being accused of putting his hands on Cassie, he's guilty. He did it. But this is not what this trial is about. This trial is about him being accused of trafficking Cassie and this other woman in whom he dated extensively. They're not even charging Diddy for transporting and paying the male gigolos who engage in these free calls with him and Cassie, because Diddy never paid them. Diddy never handed them money. What?
Guys, that is a very, very, very big point there. What Flacco just touched on. These people, these adult workers that were hired, were never ever paid by Diddy himself. Guess who they was paid for? Paid for by Cassie. Cassie paid for these adult workers. She paid for them from her own accounts, you know. So, and we got to be clear here, exactly like what Flacco said. The case is for trafficking. It is not a domestic violence case. Where's the proof so far that he has trafficked anybody? I just want to see it. Now, I'm not standing on a side, but I'm just saying, I'm just putting the facts out there, and I'm saying to you guys, where is it?
One of the male gigolos named Daniel Phillips, he took the stand today and he testified that Cassie is who he received payment from. Cassie handed him $4,000. Cassie used her credit card to book him from off their company's website. Cassie is who handled all the transactions and all the payments. Diddy never did it. Now, they would claim that Diddy never did it because Diddy was too paranoid of the police, but nonetheless, they can't charge him with transporting or paying him because Diddy never paid them. And Phillips testified that other times he did it for free because he was just happy to be in the presence of Diddy and Cassie. And he thought Cassie was one of the hottest women he've ever been with, so he would have done it for free, in which he did do it for free a couple of times. As a matter of fact, the only type of compensation that was ever mentioned was when Diddy would give Cassie gifts or take her on a shopping spree or give her money. And the feds would try to link this to he was doing this so Cassie could do this, so hence this is trap. Bro, what? Yo, it...
And then, so, what they're trying to say is that because, fair enough, they're saying, all right, cool, he didn't pay for them himself, but they're saying because he essentially bribing someone with gifts in order to manipulate them to do something what you want. Is that what they're trying to say? I don't know. What are they trying to say? Like, it's just it's a bit mad right now, because I was kind of sold on the fact that Diddy was guilty, but now it's kind of like, you know, I'm open to the fact of I'm a bit open now. So yeah, let's carry on.
Listen, man, all men, imagine if this becomes a slippery slope, bruh, that getting your girlfriend's gifts and then having intercourse or engaging in a rendezvous, that equates to a federal trafficking charge. Imagine that slippery slope, dog. Imagine telling your girlfriend, hey, baby, my biggest fantasy is to be with two women at the same time. I've always wanted a threesome, babe. And she's a little reluctant, but you say, babe, just for my birthday, man, I just want this, please. Babe, I promise, if you give me what I want, yo, I promise, yo, I will do whatever for you, babe.
What I think Flacco is trying to say is that in the moment, for example, in the moment, a woman's down for whatever's going on, and you know, at that time, she's happy to go along with it. But then after the event and after the things of what she's done, she starts feeling nasty and then starts resenting you now because you're the one who initially brought up the idea of doing what the act was. But now she feels nasty for doing it, which in turn makes her feel like you're the person to blame for it. Is that right? Is that right? You accepted the gifts. You chose to do it. I don't know. Just, yeah. I think that's what Flacco is trying to say, but let's carry on.
Wash your feet. I'll pick the kids up every day. I'll take the trash out on time. Man, babe, for your birthday, I'll buy you a Chanel bag, babe. And then she finally agrees, right? She finally agrees, and you guys have to rendezvous. But then during the session, man, you start going ham. You start clapping cheeks, eviscerating the other girl cheeks, and she's looking like kind of upset. You feel me? Because she, bro, listen, because she's seeing you going crazy, bro, wiping the sweat off your forehead while you smack it. Like, bro, you out here, bro, you like the.
I said she's wiping sweat off your forehead. I Terminator. It's not even funny. I'm not even laughing, but people, please, it's mad. It's like, yeah. So it's like, I get what he's saying, though. I get what he's saying. All jokes aside, it's not even funny. I get what he's saying. And it's like, yeah, so it's like, you do all of that. And then afterwards, because you feel like you've done something so horrible, is what he's saying is that you start recanting on everything that you felt now. And now you feel like it's someone else's fault because you feel like someone else has coerced you into doing acts that you wouldn't have done, and now you're disgusted with yourself after. I think that's what he's trying to say, but it's just funny, man. Flacco kills me.
You out here, bro, you like the Terminator, bro. And she gets salty afterwards. And then you say, oh, babe, I'll make it up to you, man. I'm sorry, bro. And then you buy her the Chanel and another bag, and you take her out of the country on vacation just to make it up to her. And then by the time you look up, you in a courtroom for trafficking. Imagine if that's how slippery the slope was, bro. So, yeah, Diddy is a garbage human being, right? I think Diddy should be in jail for putting his hands on this woman. But is what Diddy did trafficking? I don't think so, especially when you take a look into both women agreeing that the only reason why they did this was because they didn't want for Diddy to do it with anybody else. Cassie took the stand and testified.
That's crazy that he just said that, because you didn't want him to do it with anyone else. So it's like, who is that to blame? Is that the man's fault for making the woman feel like that? Or is that the woman's fault for being over-possessive and feeling like if she don't do certain things, she's not going to keep the man? You let me know.
That she didn't want to participate, but she felt trapped. She didn't have the words then. And when she told Diddy she didn't want to, she feared he'd just do it with someone else. That's the natural reaction of a girlfriend, wanting to please the man she's with. Look at the timeline here. Diddy told Cassie, this is my fantasy. This is something I've always wanted to do. I want my woman to do this for me. Cassie wanted to give Diddy his fantasy, so she agreed. She agreed.
I think the key word there being, guys, is agreed. That means that it was a mutual, it was mutual. It weren't one way. She agreed to do some of these things. But let's fast forward to the texts, like the messages, and see a bit from there. And then let me get your feedback on that. Let's go to the messages part where it shows you what Cassie was saying to him and them type things. So let's forward to that and see what that's about.
Gigolo, he would describe Cassie as, she was excited. She was enjoying herself. She was having a good old time. She even said that he was her birthday present. As he was taking off his... Now, mind you, bro, this is a man who is certified in arousing women, bro. This is literally his career. So as he's taking it off, she said, it's my birthday. Like, you are my birthday present. And he says, she was enjoying herself. But she thought this was a one-time thing. Obviously, we know by now that it wasn't a one-time thing, and he kept on asking her to do it and do it and do it. And the more they did it, the freakier they got. Right? The more freaky the request got, the more things they did, the more they explored, and she felt nasty about it. She would enjoy herself in the moment, but then afterwards, she felt nasty inside, and she would say to such when she took the stand. How did you feel? Ventura responded back, I was an object being heavily objectified by men. Sometimes he would watch by FaceTime, so sometimes Diddy wasn't even in the room, and she was still showing up. Now, they says, were some sessions recorded on your devices? And she agreed, right? Now, they were asked, if you saw them on your device, what would you do? She says, I would delete them.
You see what I'm saying? Like, some of them were recorded on her device, someone on other devices. If they're recorded on your device, but then when you see them, you delete them. Why would you even record them in the first place? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a bit mad. We'll go a bit deeper into these text messages as well, because it's a bit mad. Like, there's a part in the text messages where she asked the adult worker to urinate on her, and she asked Diddy to urinate on her as well. And it's like, why would you let someone do that to you if you didn't actually want them without no one forcing you? I don't know. I just don't get it. Let's go.
They said, why? Cass responded back, they were disgusting. I never wanted anyone to see them. Most people will have that reaction if they look back on all the freaky stuff they did in the bedroom. Most men actually have this reaction when, like, after going to town and you stop and you think about the nasty, nasty, nasty adult movie that you just watched, that nasty porn that you just watched, you feel disgusting inside. Cassie, and we're going to talk about some of the acts that she was doing in those RICOs and some of the things that was taking place. So her watching that back, she felt disgusted inside. But as she just said, she didn't stop because she didn't want him to do it with someone else. And even when they have like the messages of her kind of like expressing, I don't really want to do this no more, she walked it back when he asked her again, well, like you don't want to do this?
Yeah, that's mad. So it's like, she would message him saying, oh, I don't really want to be doing this no more. Then he'd say whatever he's saying or whatever, and then she'd pedal it back as if to say like, well, backpedaling means that you're going back on your word. So essentially it means that she's saying it, but then going back on it and then saying she wants to do it anyway. Madness. Let's get a bit more deeper into it as well, and get into a bit more of the messages and stuff and find out some of the stuff what was going on, and then we can kind of like, we'll talk about it, and then I'll ask you lot for your feedback and so on. So yeah, let's get into it a bit more.
She would walk it back. So the only messages they have of her expressing she don't want to do it, she walked it back in like the next email. She texts Diddy, I really need to F. Diddy responded back, kind of like confused, like, wait, you don't want to do anymore, right? Like, you told me this before. And she responded back, I'm so predictable, like kind of saying, yeah, I know I said that, but, you know, like, obviously I want to do it again. So then they asked her, yo, what did you think this meant? She wrote that he knew I didn't want to do the free calls anymore, but then I backpedaled. But then she backpedaled because she wanted to be with Diddy. She just didn't want to do the free calls. But she felt like she had to do the free calls if she wanted to be with Diddy. And this is the scenario that we're currently at. Don't get me wrong. Diddy is a garbage human being. Diddy took advantage. I wholeheartedly believe that Diddy knew in his heart, bro, she was uncomfortable doing certain things, but he just didn't care. He just kept allowing it because he knew that she wanted to please him and she would keep coming back. Diddy is garbage for knowing that this chick didn't want to keep on doing this and she felt disgusted afterwards, but she didn't have the courage to say no because she didn't want to lose him. He knew this and he took advantage and he kept doing it.
Nah, that type of behavior from someone in that, it's just not good. Yeah, he took advantage 100%. But that's not what he's on trial for. Yeah, he beat her up. That's domestic abuse. That's domestic violence. But that's not what he's on trial for. Do you know what I'm saying? Facts of life, he's a horrible human being. Yeah, the guy's a monster. Let's say that right now, first and foremost. Because no, you should never back a woman into a corner like that where a woman ends up feeling like that or a woman is violated like that. Just, you don't do that. So let's say that first and foremost. As far as trafficking, I don't feel like I've seen anything that really says that yet. But let's watch these last little bits, couple of bits, and then we'll wrap it up, and then you guys can tell me how are you feeling.
This is a garbage human being for that. But is this trafficking? Hey, bruh. That's the question here, bro. Does that mean that man should do 30 to 40 years in jail? That's, hey, bro. And that's where we start to ask questions, homie, because we know Diddy is a garbage human being. I think Diddy should do a couple years in jail for putting his hands on her, but he's not being charged with that. And he take the stand, and Cassie told him that she did not want people to piss on her, that she did it only to make Diddy happy. Cassie will say that she did not want it, and they will ask her, how did it feel to get urinated on? And she would say, it was disgusting, it was too much, I choked. No one could think I wanted that. Now she's saying, bruh, y'all couldn't possibly think I wanted to get urinated on by two guys. But they're like, hold on, bro. This guy said you asked him to do it. So they asked her, why were you choking? She said, too much urine in my mouth. Who else urinated on you? Sean. Did you want Sean to urinate on you? I didn't want anyone to urinate on me. How often did it happen? Often enough. The prosecutors are just not doing a good job at...
Again, she asked these people to urinate in her mouth, but then backpedaling as if to say that's not what she wanted. Well, why would you ask for that if you didn't want it? It's not like anyone else, it's not like they're saying anyone else brought that up for it to be pitched into your head. You brought that up from what it seems yourself. You asked for that. So like, what I want to ask, is Diddy really being done for trafficking? Or is he being done because a woman done so much things for that man that made her feel so disgusting, and now she wants her retribution for it or whatever? What is really going on here? Guys, I need you to tell me, man. Get in the comments. Let me know what's going on in the comments. And let's just say this. The reason Diddy didn't get charged with trafficking any male adult workers is because it weren't him. It was Cassie that did that. She paid for all of them. Diddy's only charged with trafficking Cassie and a Jane Doe, who we don't know who the Jane Doe is. So, but from what you've seen here so far, can you say that this is trafficking? Would you walk out of that courtroom with the notion in your head that Diddy has trafficked Cassie and has trafficked a Jane Doe? Or would you walk out of that courtroom feeling like, here's a domestic abuser, he is a woman beater, and he is guilty of that 100%. He is a horrible, horrible, evil man. That's what I would come out with so far, me. But I want to hear what you got to say. I want to know what your thoughts are on it. Please get in the comments and comment. Just let me know. Big up everyone for locking into the channel. Shout out to Poetic Flacco. Shout out to No Jumper. And yeah, man, big up all of them, man. Shout out to everyone rocking with my channel right now. It don't cost nothing to hit that subscribe button, man. Show some love, man. Help me build my brand. Spill TV. We're in here now, man. And it's only going to get bigger and better, man. But guys, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this video, man. Let me know what I could have done better. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And it all helps, man. Respect to people, man. Shout you all out. Spill TV. Over and out. Woof.